What the heck? Hey, how's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining Shop Talk Live. My name is Rick Ramirez, also known as Rick's 2 Cents, along with my fellow co-host Steve from Steve Makes Everything.
Hi, everyone. I was playing
And
with my
Roger
dog.
from Roger's Shop.
Howdy, howdy.
Yeah. Got quite a few people already in the live.
I see Tim is starting on the World Series stuff. I did get a kick out of our Prime Minister. He was down in Washington there yesterday, and he did tell Trump that he'd see us again at the World Series.
Hello from South Carolina. Hey, Phil. Hello from Milwaukee. It's in Roger and I's backyard. Roger, you got a very interesting shirt on today.
Well, I try to make it something different every week. I've got like over 50 of these, so I can cycle through them for quite a while.
He's not quite Van Eyck White yet. He doesn't change 3 times during the live stream.
We need a commercial break for him to change so he's not on camera.
Yeah.
ATV Marketing, so hello. Hey, how's it going? James said
Ozark, Alabama.
Ozark, Alabama. This one.
Hey, Andrew. Andrew picked up my old D1 Pro 40 watt the other day.
Nice.
And there was a problem with the power supply, but he got it fixed. So I asked him if he wanted how it was going, and he sent me a picture of a pile of things that were cut out. So I guess that's a good sign.
He eliminated some stuff. This was not needed. Tim said, I pulled the older smart TV out for the next week or so. Nice one.
Waverly, Iowa. That's in my backyard.
Hello.
There's a couple of people from Waverly, Iowa who show up here.
Pretty cool.
Hey, it's working well. Of course, now I have to hang like a Mona Lisa picture or something on the wall where the thing was hanging, because it's just a big empty wall now. It's sad looking.
Kevin said, good evening from Little Rock, Arkansas this week. I assume he's traveling. That's why I said this week.
Well, I'll bring up something that we were talking about last week, was about taking the RFID tag on a bamboo printer and putting it from a bamboo spool and putting it on something else. So I didn't have any empty ones last week. Well, I'll do this week. So this is an empty spool, and there's 2 RFID tags that are kind of hanging off the edge right here. So what I did do was, on one of the other spools, I pulled it off. So then it looks like this. You can cut that off, and you can glue it to the side of a spool.
Roger. Hold on. Let me pull Steve and I off the camera so that you're bigger. If you want to do that again. Yeah. I'm going to pull us off the camera so you're bigger.
Bigger and better? Okay, so here it is. This is the RFID tag, and this is after it's pulled out off the spool. And yes, you can cut the plastic down here, and you can glue the RFID tag onto the sides of a spool. But you have to remember, if this particular RFID tag came off of PLA and it was white, that's what it's going to tell the AMS that's in there. So if you put it on a roll of black, you're going to get a false reading. But otherwise, it does work. I tried it out on one spool. That's not something I'm going to do, because I generally use bamboo filament. But here it is on the spool as it comes empty. Here's one torn off. And as I said, you can cut these off, and you can glue them to the side of a spool. Just make sure they're directly across from each other and close to the center core.
Or the top of, like, the outside of the spool.
Yeah. No,
it was one or the other. Which one?
It's towards the core, but on the outside of the spool.
So what would be the real reason you'd want to do that?
If you want to try to fool your AMS that you're using bamboo filament, you can. I did it just as an experiment because it came up from the live stream last week. It's not something I'm going to do. I just wanted to see if it worked.
So the big thing it gives you is it shows you the amount of filament that's left.
Yeah, that too.
So it's not necessarily that you're using like an OEM tag to fool the machine, think it's OEM film. It could be a generic film, wouldn't have that, so you wouldn't be able to track length left.
Right. That, and it puts a pattern. I mean, your all your settings and everything. Bamboo has done a fantastic job with the settings with their filament. But sometimes you got to tinker a little bit if you're going with something like Elegoo or Tech Bear or one of the other brands. You're gonna have to fool around with the settings a little bit. Where Bamboos are all set, the RFID tag reads that, it puts it into the slicer, so you're all set. And the other thing I did this week, just for the halibut, and halibut is a flat fish if you don't know. But what I did was, they always say do not use TPU filament on an AMS on a Bamboo Lab printer. So, well, I wonder why not. So I tried it. Don't do it. I was 2 hours getting that piece of filament unjammed out of that AMS. So, yeah, Steve said he tried it too. So
coincidentally, yeah, I tried it the other day, and I didn't have quite the same problem you had. Maybe the AMS 2 Plus or 2 Pro is a little nicer to you. I did end up taking the filament out of the back of the AMS though, and yanking it from that end. So it was, and I did have that moment where I went, holy crap, well, how am I going to get this out of here?
yeah, and I'm like, why did I do this? And then starting to take it out, and of course it stretches because it's TPU, and I'm taking it out in pieces, so it stretches and stretches, then it breaks, and then it snaps back like a rubber band, and you got to dig back into the PTFE tube and find the other end, and I ended up taking the AMS apart, and don't do that. Do not put TPU in your AMS.
So it looks like the trucker from Washington is joining us. Not sure if he's on the road today. He was last week, but just so
he's not
people
normally
who are
in Washington. So
yeah. So those who are new to the channel, when you ask, why do we read the comments? You can see them as well. A couple different reasons, because we're using StreamYard. So you could be from Steve's live, you could be from my live, you could be from Roger's live. And you could also be from any one of our YouTube or Facebook or different social media. So we're pulling it all on one app. So just because you see comments, it could be from one single feed. It could be other comments from a different feed. And there's also people who are not watching. They're just purely listening. So whether they're driving, they're working, or doing something, that is why we read them. Just wanted to make sure. So we get a lot of comments, or I get a lot of messages like, you guys don't have to read it. Well, that's very well why we do that. Kevin said, hello from East Tennessee. Let's see.
Waterloo, Iowa, also in my backyard, sort of. About an hour and 45 minutes from here.
That's where Bosnian Trucker normally is.
Yeah.
But I guess he's actually trucking tonight.
There you go. Tim said, did my first resurfacing today on MDF. It's a beep on CNC. Have realized I will be needing an enclosure bit.
Yeah, MDF on a CNC is a whole introduction to lots of dust.
Yeah, I probably should have warned you about that, Tim. It's when you're shaving off that little bit off the surface of MDF, you cut through the surface that's really compacted, and then there's just literally dust underneath it.
A glitter bomb?
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Most things on a CNC aren't that bad, but MDF is it's really nice for working on a CNC, but man, is it dusty.
I saw someone, I was struggling with my dust collection hose, and I was trying to figure out like a good idea how to route it to be able to have it flexible to be able to move around. And I Roger in our field, I saw somebody what looked like a lanyard that they were using, right? And I was like, oh, yeah. What is that? And it was like this $7 piece. I haven't gotten it yet, but I've ordered off Amazon. That you can actually adjust the tension around it. Yeah, so we'll see how that works out. But I'm excited about that because, like you said, Steve, dust collection is a big thing with the CNC. So
yeah, it's not so much dust collection; it's chip collection normally. But MDF is the exception, of course. But I mean, most things that you work on a CNC, they come out in a big enough chunk that they don't fly around; they just sit there.
Right.
But it makes a lot of them.
Yeah, my
So-
biggest concern is it's moving around, so I didn't want to jam up the hose, pull down the hose, rip the hose, so
Yeah.
I think once you get a machine, you get your machine dialed in, you deal with it once, you don't deal with it. But whenever you're setting up the machine for the first time, you're working out those hiccups, right?
Yeah. Now the problem is if you're ever shooting video, you want to shoot it with the dust boot off.
Right.
So most of the time people are going to go, what's wrong with this guy? Doesn't he have a dust boot on this thing? So you always have to put the disclaimer on the bottom, dust boot removed for video.
Yeah.
Andrew says, "Oh, the hole where his D1 Pro used to hang is a good place for my new hammer." See, I posted my video. This is a carbon fiber infilled plastic hammer, and this thing hammered nails. Like this thing is awesome.
So let me pull Roger and I off the camera so you can do this.
This thing is wicked strong. Like it's crazy. Let me get me out of there. So you can see the actual infill on the inside. That's all of that's pure carbon fiber, continuous fiber, and it looks more like this. If I can show a closer up one, it's neat, but it's just so this hammer is actually stronger than aluminum alloy.
Wow, it definitely looks metallic. I wouldn't have.
Well, it's actually, I printed it with clear PET G just so you could see the inside. Otherwise, the filament just looks like black hair. Like it's a 1/4 millimeter fiber.
Huh. So what printer did you use to print that?
So this is a new printer called the Fiber Seeker 3. And it comes out of the industrial printer world.
Okay.
So they're owned by a bigger company called an ISOprint that makes, the $40, $50, $60, $70,000 3D printers for aerospace and automotive.
Nice.
And they've pushed that technology down to the home market now, the hobby market. Well, not so much hobby, more small business or print farm.
Right. It said good evening from Milwaukee. Got a question. Want to take it, Steve? Well, actually, Roger. That's probably a better question from Roger.
Well, I'm with Monport, but my Monport 40. The question is, I've been looking into getting a CO2 laser. I was wondering what you all think of the Monport Reno 65 Pro. I do not have that. I have the Monport 40. I have, other than my temperature readers that everybody has a problem with, I have had zero issues with it. It just works.
Yeah, I have
other than regular routine maintenance on CO2s, not a lot goes wrong with them.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had to replace the optics in mine over time, but I mean, it's got 3,000 hours on it probably now.
I think Clack did a video on this, right? Did a review on the Reno.
He might have.
I think he's normally in our live. We'll see Clack. I'm pretty sure this is the one you did the view on. Just comment if you have, but I think Monport is a safe bet. They get a bad rap for sure. And every now and then we give them a hard time as well. But what I would say is that they're a bigger brand. So it's not a Alibaba special or whatever. They're at least I would say like a big box store type brand. They're, they've made it to that level of success, right?
Yeah, they're kind of mid-market.
Right.
But they're solid by all accounts.
Yeah. Hold on. Pigeon Force? And I'm sure what's that pertaining
That's a city.
Pigeon Forge?
Pigeon Forge, yeah.
Where's that?
I thought it was a video game or something.
Now you're getting me on geography. I'm thinking it's either Kentucky or Tennessee. Kevin may correct me on that, but
I think he did say he was from Tennessee, East Tennessee.
You did say good evening from Chicago. You're in Roger and I's backyard. Hello, neighbor.
Jim, you must have been sick. You must have been having some big success this week because you didn't send me too many emails.
He was probably too worried about ice. Chicago's been nuts lately.
Yeah, Chattanooga, that's in Tennessee. I know that for sure because I've been there many times.
Even I know that.
said, yeah, apparently more people know where that's at.
Oh, hi from Oz. You're in the wonderful world of Oz.
JM Creative Studio.
I think that's a new name. Is that a new name? Are you
It could
recognize
be.
the name? Jim, GM Creative Studio. Is this the first time you're joining?
I think
don't-
we've exchanged email in the past.
Okay. Santa's Laser Engraving. How's it going, brother? Everyone's leaving Steve's
Living,
shirt.
Oh,
living
living
my
Chief,
shirt
sir.
today.
Oh,
So
engineer.
So my shirt says, definition of an engineer, basically solving problems you didn't know you had in ways you don't understand.
Nice one.
Okay, David's asking, you sure you should cut the tag in half? If you put the film on the other side of the AMS, it may not register. There is no connection. You don't need to blow this up, Rick. But there's no connection between the two halves here. Each side is an individual RFID. As long as they are lined up on both sides of the outside of the spool, it registered just fine when I ran it.
Definitely a lot more benefits than I originally thought. I thought it was just really being purely done to fool the printer in a brand, and I didn't really understand the reason why it goes through so much trouble. But I do get if there's a bit of cost savings in using a different brand to still use the features of tracking the length that's left on the spool, right? Assuming that they're the same
I would
length.
think that's the biggest benefit, because if you're starting a big job, and it's nice to know whether you have enough filament, right? Well, the printer is smart enough to tell you don't have enough
Right.
if you get that thing put on there before you start using filament off the spool.
And
Team
the other thing that's
inspection.
nice with these, with the AMS on the Bamboo or the Ace on the Cobra, is if you have another spool that's exactly the same filament, it does an automatic transfer. So this spool runs
Okay.
out, it'll just transfer to the next one.
Yeah, that's nice.
So I was in a situation with my Bamboo yesterday, Roger, and you can answer this question for me. I thought I was doing a big job, and I thought I was going to run out of filament. And as it happened, I had about 3 inches left on the spool when it was done. But if it runs out of filament, does it? I mean, I assume it's going to stop. But does it give me the option of reloading new filament into that same area, same spot?
If you have it set for automatic transfer in the slicer,
Well, I
and you
didn't.
have another spool of the same thing in there, it'll just automatically transfer. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it will stop and tell you to reload.
Yeah, okay, but it'll let me continue the job if I load new filament and continue the job.
I've
Okay.
done that. I've had that happen before. Thought I had enough and didn't.
Yeah, I was
That's
watching a 5-hour print job, and I'm doing a whole lot of math going, okay, that layer took 1 round off the spool. I've got 12 rounds left. I got eight
You're
more
definitely
layers
down
to
to
go.
the wire, as they say, right?
And literally I had about 3 inches left that hadn't gone into the AMS input yet.
Team Destruction said hello from Rio Rancho, New Mexico. Hello, hello.
So Jim saying a coaster update did not existed 3 weeks ago. 5 new accounts, 2,400 sold. That's great.
Wow.
Plus
Nice.
3 having me engraved glassware, 400 to 500 glasses. Have at that. I don't do glasses. I hate it. Yeah, glasses are still a nightmare.
Jim's living my nightmare, selling
Kick ass, man.
2,400
Kick
coasters.
ass.
Once you get into the coaster thing, you can mass produce those fast
Oh, I know.
if you're set up for it.
It's just a lot of work for
Steve just loves it, but he doesn't want to admit it. It's like when you still like your ex-girlfriend, but you just,
So Tim's asking me if I'm anywhere near the Field of Dreams. Yes, I am. It's about 40 minutes northwest of here. And in fact, my cousin was one of the cameramen when they shot that film way back.
didn't even know that was the thing.
Yeah, Field of Dreams. They've held some games up there.
It's a classic
still
movie.
It's a big thing. Yeah, a very classic movie. Build it and they will come.
Clay said, aloha from Hawaii. Aloha, everyone. Please smash that like button. Come on, guys. If you haven't
Hey,
already, you
Clayton.
gotta listen. Here you go.
There's
Clack is in
Clack.
the building.
This is other Steve. This is Ventari who did the Reno.
Steve has the Reno. Yeah, so there you go. Got to check out the other Steve. He did the review on that. All right.
Yeah, Quacker's in the house. He's supposed to be getting one.
We'll see.
Yeah, Pigeon Forge is in Tennessee. Because while we were going here, I went and looked it up.
Mark Black said it is in Tennessee. There you go.
Yeah, near Gatlinburg.
Okay. Now that's a mystery. There you go. Phil said Steve from Ventura did the one on the Reno 45 Pro. There you go. Clack saying hello to everyone.
Hey, Clack.
My bad.
I wonder if Clack is going insane from boredom yet.
GM Creative Studio said, "No, I'm a regular. I'm just a quiet achiever." Well, thank you for commenting, and my apologies for not recognizing your name in the comments. I generally start to recognize regulars, so welcome back. I like this. Speaking of remembering people's names, I like this name, Trader Skills Anonymous, right?
Yeah.
Every evening, all. Hope everyone's doing great. Thank you for joining us in the live.
Herb says hello from 4,000 feet up in Pine Valley, California. Okay, Clayton. Okay, he only uses his AMS for the same color, so it doesn't have any leftover to spool. I do the same thing, especially on my A1s. My A1s, one of them is loaded with nothing but white filament. The other one's loaded with nothing but black filament. Before spools on it, and it's all set for automatic transfer. And since I have the humidity boxes on them, I don't have to check them very often. So it's nice.
Oh, Louisiana Hobby Guys in the building.
Yeah, Rich.
Thanks for stopping in, saying hello. I know he generally watches us on his TV, so when he comments, he made an effort to say hello on his computer. So, hey, Rich, thanks for stopping in.
I see Rich is making a few videos again, so his back must be feeling better.
Yeah, that's good.
That's something I need to get back to, is making videos. I haven't made one since August.
Yeah.
Well, YouTube's going to hate you, man.
I know I'm going to be dropping a ton of videos. So speaking of, next week they're shipping my PWN CNC. So I should have it by Thursday, Friday.
5 times fast?
I know, right? I know, right? And I'm dyslexic. I'm surprised I got it out so smooth, right? Maybe it's because the half a beer in it made me a little bit more.
A little less dyslexic.
Yeah, exactly. But it's funny is that, Steve, when you warned me when I got the Infinity, you're like, you're gonna get a whole gang of boxes, right? And like one UPS truck is just for you. And I think the only reason I didn't have that happen to me is because they came in like multiple shipments. So it seemed that, but it probably would have seemed a hell of a lot more if I would get it all at once.
Yeah, I got everything for mine all at the same time, and it was literally like half of the UPS truck.
Yeah, so I could definitely see that if it came once versus like 4 different times. So I think the advantage of theirs is that I said it before. I don't care what brand CNC it is. It's very common to see their rotary tool, right? So to make their rotary tool compatible with CNCs is they've built everyone's CNC and tested and, seeing what their issues were with the CNC working well. But because of that, they were able to use everyone's CNC. So, and improve upon it. And one of the things that they said, and was funny because obviously they're watching our lives, is that they don't want so many boxes. So they want to assemble as much as they can and limit boxes, and so it's crazy as it sounds. Like, I guess like they're really digging deep into like just making some improvements, and shipping is even one of them. Not just
It's a
the
cost
CNC
thing too,
itself.
right? It's not just, oh, we have fewer boxes, because every box has a flat rate to get in, right? So
Right.
it's a cost thing. I'm sure if they eliminate a box,
Yeah.
they're saving $20 in shipping probably.
Right, which could add up to hundreds, right? If you
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot for sure.
so so a big thought process is going into everything. So very cool. I'm excited.
Red who's telling a dad joke here.
Yeah, why does a chicken coop have 2 doors? Because if it had 4 doors, it'd be a chicken sedan. That's a dad joke.
That's one for Nick over at Build Dad Build. He's been
I like this. I
he's
like
been
this
building a
name.
chicken coop.
This name too. Spectrum of Reality says did a few things recently on some terrazzo tile. It turns out this is another material that can be used with a diode laser. You can produce some blacks and grays. Not sure about flower pots. But
Yeah, it'll work on flower pots too. It's pretty soft, right? So I mean, I don't know if you want to put something all the way around a flower pot, you're going to need a pretty big rotary, but
Yes.
Santa's laser engraving, and hey, Santa, I like your shirts too. We did a little back and forth on Facebook there on the shirts. So my last video was experience I had at my last craft show. Long story short, inside near the stage, I had a tent set up, and they had a pageant. Turned lights out for about 2 to 3 hours. Yep, just bought some lights. Yep.
Oh,
I can feel your pain there.
that sucks.
yeah, well, it's a learning experience, every one of those things.
So Bossy and Truckers asking, what do you guys think of the Atom Stack A70 diode laser? Is it worth it? I do not have that one. I have the A40 Pro or whatever they call it, and it works just fine. I mean, I don't have any problem with my Atom Stack lasers. I've got a couple of them.
Yeah, Atom Stack makes decent lasers. Although I was talking to somebody, was it this week or last week, that just ripped Atom Stack for support, and I was like, "Whoa, I don't know what to say here."
So I've had 3 Atom Stack lasers, and nothing bad to say.
Well, I've never had to contact their support, so I don't have any
yeah,
experience on that.
I haven't either.
The one thing that you are gonna see is you're probably on Facebook. You'll ask the exact same question: is get ready for the haters to come out, right? And reality is that when you're gonna go buy the biggest, baddest something, someone's gonna criticize like why you don't need it. 9 times out of 10 is because they want it, they can't afford it. So, so if you
I heard a lot of that when I bought my saw stop. Why did you spend all that money for that? You could have gone down to Home Depot and bought one for $400. Well, that's not what I wanted. This is what I wanted. This is what I bought, and it's my money.
So
and it's
the first person who asked me that, my response was, I bought a saw stop because I'd like to die with 10 fingers.
So to answer your question, if I had the money, I'd buy it 100%. I think it's and not just because I want the biggest, baddest laser on the market, but that's exactly why I'd want it.
Well, with all the things that I've been doing, of course, granted, I don't have anything bigger than a 40 watt in the diode laser line. Well, yes, I do. I got the 45. We create 45, but I have, so far, I don't need anything more powerful. The thickest thing I cut with a laser, wood-wise, is 1/4 inch.
Right. So my whole thing is I cut tons of cedar picket fences. I could do the jack-o'-lanterns, do all that. And I said this before, but from the Ateza V35, that was my previous workhorse, to the longer B1, which is now my workhorse. 5 watts didn't seem like a lot. So the same tone, like you're saying, like, what are you going to do with a 70-watt laser? You're cutting 2x4s. That's not what a laser is for. My whole thing was that it wasn't that. It was like, if I don't have a cedar picket fence that's been sitting in my basement for a month, when I cut through that, it's really unpredictable.
Well, I'll have to backtrack a little bit and say, yeah, I do cut more than a 1/4 inch. I do cut cedar fence pickets, a 1/2 inch, but that is my limit.
So
and if they're wet, that's hard when they're wet.
course,
That's
you
just
got a CNC now, Rick. You can just cut them with that. It's a little
That's
slower,
different,
but you get a
but
much
whatever.
neater job.
You know what? But I kind of like that charred look. That creates the look to it. So
Take a torch to it after.
yeah, I guess it would depend, right? Like my whole logic of thinking laser versus CNC is that laser's a lot cheaper than a CNC. CNC could be making something that's making me a lot more money than a CNC. But if they're neither one are being used, and it was just whatever's faster, then I get it, right? But if I had two projects run at the same time, I'd rather utilize something that had to be done on the CNC versus something that's dialed in with a laser. That's just my opinion. Yeah, he said Clack has some good videos on A70. Louisiana Hobby Guy said, Steve, check your email.
Yeah, I was just looking at. Wow, this is nice. Do you mind if I show this, Rich? Because this is actually pretty cool. So Rich sent me an email to say he gave in and bought a Eufy Make E1.
Oh, nice.
And let me just share my screen to show you what he made, because this is pretty nice. If I can figure out how to do this again. Share screen. Here we go. So check this out.
oh, that's cool.
And that'll be all textured. So that'll be a dragon sticking out of the material. Wow.
Pretty crazy. What is that, tile or aluminum?
I don't know. It looks like a piece of MDF, but
Oh, wow. Rich, what is it? What is it printed on? Just curious.
anyway, that's nice.
Cool.
Yeah, the E1 is definitely a nice tool to have in the shop. Hopefully, people start getting them soon, because I know they've been delayed.
If you've made it this far in the live, make sure that you join our Facebook group. Go to shoptalklive.club. This is not a website. It's an auto forward that goes to our Facebook group. It's not Steve's Facebook group. It's not my Facebook group. It's not Roger's Facebook group. It's Shop Talk Live's Facebook group. And the reason that I'm saying that is because if you're a seller, a maker, an influencer, a YouTuber, what have you, it's open forum. You can post whatever you want. Just try to keep it appropriate.
And family friendly.
Yeah, there you go.
So Rich said that's a metal business card.
Oh, wow. So the picture's a little misleading. I assumed it was a lot bigger than that.
It looks big. Well, the thing is,
Yeah.
it would scale up and it would still look the same, right? But
yeah, very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, just in my head by seeing the picture, I thought it was like 5x7. You know.
it looks big.
Yeah.
But actually, the giveaway is there's a plug behind it, a receptacle right on the side. So
Bosnian Trucker said, I have it in my cart, but after Rick's answer, the beast is coming to my collection. Thanks, guys, for an honest feedback. Yeah, you're going to get a lot of flack. You don't need it. Why would you do that? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you don't have one, do you? You couldn't swipe if you wanted to, could you? That's really the answer. Same 88.
That's a new one, isn't it?
hello from me. I am here.
Are you on 88 by any chance?
Oh, today for Perth Down Under. Hi, Chris.
Was wondering where you were.
Yeah.
Same 88 says he wants to buy his first laser.
So what type of laser are you looking to purchase?
Well, what do you want to do with it, and what type are you looking at? Oh, he was born in 88. Man, I got shoes that were I bought.
I wish I was born in 88.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel like I'm 88, but not quite there yet. But
Spectrum Reality said, I'd like to see some companies make super high speed and high power diodes that can make full sheets of plywood and had the ability to cut up to 1-inch thick would be the ideal for signs and billboards. Sounds like you need a CNC.
What's the is it Vortalk board?
Yeah, there's that one that will take full sheet of plywood.
Yeah, it'll take a full sheet of plywood. You can also put a CNC spindle on it.
Yeah,
as well as a laser. It's got a 120 watt laser too.
I think the reality is if you're making signage that's a full sheet of plywood, you probably need a CNC. That's the reality of it.
Yeah.
And if you're making full signs, full sheets of plywood, means you're making enough money to afford a CNC or pay it off very soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Signage pays very well.
Yeah. Well, that's how I paid for my CNC, making signs.
Yeah. Let's see. Same 88 said born in 88.
Yeah. Still a kid.
Yeah.
I'm a 70s baby.
I'm a 50s baby.
See, I'm right in the middle. I'm a 60s.
Same idiot said, I have a CNC router. I want to buy something not too big, but powerful. Well, the real question is, what are you trying to make? Because then you know what type of laser that you're looking to get.
Yeah.
Are you doing wood, acrylic, metal?
Clack looked at the Acmer X1. Go watch his video. It's a big laser. Yeah. Sleeps too.
Sleeps too. Twin bed not included.
Yeah, you know it's a big laser when it comes with a built-in cot.
Yeah. Biden Chicken said, I don't care what they said. Just make a video and go like this. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's it. Don't say anything else. You get 100,000 views. Just sit in the background, just cutting.
Yeah, and become a meme forever.
Right? That'd be hilarious.
Now,
if you go viral, give me credit.
Chris says I'm late a full day babysitting grandkids yesterday is why I slept in. So yeah, I've been there, done that.
I took a nap for this video. Yeah, I took a nap for this video, man. I came home.
I don't know how to sleep in.
Same 88 said, I have some experience with CNC, and I think I can learn dialed lasers quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, you started with the hard tool first. So you'll pick up. Lasers are generally the same, except there's only 2 axes to worry about. Yeah,
I was going to say that I'm going the opposite direction, and I think it gives me a little bit of help, but
you understand tool paths, right? Now, they don't typically call them tool paths in the laser world, but that's what it is.
Yeah, and I just think the master controller is awesome, but the master controllers can be overwhelming, right? It has a lot of learning the interface, right?
Yeah.
But that's why I wanted it. So there's also, look at the new Masto. So the Masto has now like 3 versions. So you can get like a real layman's version of it without all the bells and whistles. But I wanted all the bells and whistles. I can't complain. But it just, there's a learning
curve. Still has the Masto 3, right?
Yes.
Yeah, not the red, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Trader Skilled Anonymous. Seems like the whole team is here. Clack, Santa, Chris, Santa, Rich, Radui. Yeah, we're all here. The regulars.
They'll hang out.
Bob said, same idea. Adam Sack, A70, just go all in.
Yeah, just throw all your money on the table.
He said, damn. I mean, I'd buy it. I'd buy it. But man, I tell you what, CNC, everything just adds up with a CNC. And I remember last thing we said, what's something you purchased way too much of when you bought a CNC, and it was bits?
Yeah.
That's what everyone said. I think I went down that rabbit hole. I need to stay off Amazon.
Have you spent more money on bits than your CNC yet?
Oh no, I'm not there yet. No. I'm not there yet. The CNC was expensive.
You'll get there. Well, once you start getting into like specialty bits,
$80 bits,
you're going to spend $300 on a bit sometimes. And
so I bought a couple nice bits from Cutting It Close. I bought them because he has like all the feeds and speeds and the tool pass, and I was like, you know what, that'll be helpful to me. Honestly, could have bought a knockoff version. Amazon saved a couple bucks, but I like that. Get a downloadable, importable file with it and everything. So,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, most of the bigger bit providers will have that kind of stuff. Like a Mana, you can load a whole library into vCarve, right? With all their bits in it. I don't know if IDC does that, but the Jenny bit toolpaths or speeds and feeds are well understood. Like they're just out there right now.
Right.
Once you have a decent toolpath for, a 1/4-inch upcut end mill, it doesn't matter who made it, right? It's going to be roughly the same, unless you buy the end mill made out of like clay, and you have to turn it. You have to turn it at 1,000 RPM or something. But
it's the knockoff version.
Yeah. It's basically a photograph that you're turning in the spindle.
No, I did. It's funny you said that. I did see somebody say that they bought it was like a DeWalt tool off Alibaba, and they got a printout of it. You guys see that all over Facebook right now?
No.
It was like a DeWalt drill impact set for like $29.99. And when he got it was the picture of it. That's what they mailed him. So he was but he didn't read the description. Pretty much that's what he bought.
It said, this is a picture of a DeWalt.
Yeah, it pretty much said that's what it was. So it went viral.
That's a little deceptive because, who would ever want a photo of a DeWalt?
Well, there was a scam on eBay several years ago where they had advertising a enlargement device, instant results, and if you ordered it, you got a little magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Or I saw that where they said a guy put up. This was obviously a while back, because a newspaper ad that said solar dryers. When they paid him, he mailed him a rope.
Clothesline, yeah.
Oh boy.
Solar dryers. What the hell?
So Patty says she just got a Falcon 10 watt. Is it a Falcon or a Falcon 2? Very new, stumbled onto your feet. Oh, well, welcome aboard. Now, if you want to, so Rich is actually on, Louisiana Hobby Guy. If you want to learn about Lightburn, go watch Rich's videos because he does them well. I think Clack's done a few videos on Lightburn as well.
Yeah, Rich does a fantastic job. If you want to learn Lightburn, he'd be the way to go.
And Patty,
Louisiana Hobby Guy.
Patty, I would say that I sarcastically said go big or go home earlier in the live, but you'll also get flack by starting off like the little guy, right? But man, I had a Tezer P5 5-watt, and I made a ton of stuff with that. So you don't need 110 watt, a 70 watt. At any place in the spectrum, you can make a ton of things that are, that could be awesome. So just understand the reality of what it's capable of doing and use it to its maximum capability.
Yep.
So
I mean, it's 10 watts. Like if you're really not sure what you're doing or whether you even want to be in the laser business, 10 watts not a bad place to start because they're cheap, right? And you can pick up lots of used ones. She doesn't say if this is new or used, but you can get even a new one for fairly good price. So because a lot of people will buy one, turn it on, engrave a piece of wood, and go, yeah, okay, this really isn't for me, and then you're stuck with like an A70 or something, right? And so this is, if you're unsure and you're just getting started, this is not a bad spot to start. It's one of the reasons why at least once or twice a year I'll do a review on an entry level laser. So
I did a lot of 3/4-inch plywood, stained white, and then I engraved it and made signs, all different kinds of things, and it worked amazing because I'm not trying to cut something super thick. I cut it to size on a table saw. I stained it, and I just engraved it, and it did a great job. So the cool thing about signs is you could make a sign about a pool, and somebody sees it and they want you to make a sign about their dog. That can bring you down a rabbit hole. Signs are a good place to start.
Yeah, we do tons of signs. just tons of them.
Yeah. Speaking of,
Yeah,
Sam said signs, some portrait engravings, ornaments, engraving leather patches, some stuff like that. Yeah, there you go.
One thing that I think is underserved that I've done a lot of and made decent money is engraving stones, garden stones. You know, little stones that just have sayings on them, and people put them in their gardens.
Rich says, "Where's Skylar? She's taking a back seat right now." She jumps on the live every now and then, and most of the time she's in the chat still. But yeah,
she had a lot of things going on with the kids and all that, so a little tough.
We're still friends, and she's constantly, obviously, on Shop Talk Live. If you guys, our Facebook group, she's on there constantly.
She was a co-host there a couple of weeks ago.
Trade Skillers Anonymous, and I can relate to this too because I have been so busy with projects. So he's been slacking on making videos. The building plenty, just need to get remotivated to video the process. And I'm in the same boat. I've built things, by request, and it's such a rush thing. I don't have time to screw with the cameras and all that, and I just build it, and here you go. And
yeah, hence why I'm facing the background of my fiber lasers right now, not my CNC, because there's a whole lot of sawdust over there, as Steve was saying earlier. I got sawdust everywhere.
Sawdust or wood chips?
yeah, wood chips, sawdust. I go grab some handfuls.
Yeah, but you see, that's a good background. That looks like you're in a busy shop, right? Like, look, I mean, behind me, it's like sterile, right? Like this is. Like...
it won't let me because the thing keeps turning. I got to figure out how to turn that off.
Well, we're lucky we're not out in my shop because down here it's kind of a sterile environment because it's going to be clean for the 3D printers. Well, my shop's a mess.
Oof,
yeah, mine's a bit chaotic right now too. It's I sent my wife. I was at a store buying a bunch of drawer slides, and I couldn't remember how long they were, whether they were 24s or 22s. So I sent her into my shop, and I got some negative feedback on the condition of my shop.
So
and then she gave me the wrong size, so I had to go back today to swap them for the right size.
My wife says, if you bring someone down in the basement, Rick, you should probably make sure it's spotless. And I'm like,
it's got to look like it's like you're working in it, right? It can't be like like a saw stop, right? You don't spend $6,000 on a saw just to have it look nice.
Well, I had a visitor here yesterday that got to see my shop, and he's looking around. He goes, "I don't know how you do this." He says, "How do you have room to do anything?" This is because everything is on wheels.
Yeah.
Everything's packed up in the corner. If I need a tool out or whatever, it's on a cart. It's on wheels. I will allow to use it. I can put it back. Everything connects to the dust collector. The biggest stationary thing really is my saw stop and then my dust collector. But everything else, I can move around anytime I want.
See, to me,
I put my 3D printer, my H2D on wheels.
Nice. To me, when I was in the field, I had all my tools in those DeWalt Tough boxes, right? And that's because I carried all my tools with me. And then liking them so much, that became something I did in my shop because I used to do a lot of work outside in my backyard on my property. But now that I no longer work in the field anymore, I'm a senior project manager. Every time I have to take something out, it's like you're saying, Roger, I got to pull all these boxes. So I'm going to build one of those cleat shelves so I can put all my tools.
Yeah, French cleats.
Yeah, French
cleats. You can do like me. I 3D printed mounts for all my DeWalt tools. Are all mounted on the wall on 3D printed mounts.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm going to do. I'm so tired of, I'll still keep the boxes. I can definitely use them. But like, if DeWalt makes it, it's chances I own it.
Yeah.
They're just a pain in the butt just to pull them out. I need a grinder, so I need to unclip 4 boxes just to get it out, So that's going to be one of the projects coming up. And I hear you on the when you stop making videos, once you get going, you got to get on that hump. And it's even like you get back comfortable in the grind or in front of the camera. and you're gonna notice the difference between that first video and then the second one and the third one because you're kind of like back in the motions of making the video, right?
Yeah, for me, it takes me about a week to get like the hook part of it, the beginning part of a video done, and after that, then it just kind of flows. But
right,
it's just to get started is the killer for me.
yeah.
Okay,
All right.
Sam88 is asking, is it a bad idea to buy a X-Tool F2 Ultra right away or start with a longer 40 watt? I see some of your videos, and I think it'd be good for a start. Want to combine CNC router stuff with a laser to custom. There's a big difference in the F2 X-Tool F2 and the longer 40. They're two different animals there.
Yeah, this gets back to the question: what do you want to do?
Yeah. I mean, I have two longer B1s. Rick has one. I also have longer Ray 5 that I've expanded to 800 millimeter work area. And they're
Yeah.
good lasers. So, I mean, but I also have an X-Tool S1, but I don't have the F2. That's,
Yeah. So the simple check, item on the checklist here is if you want to cut a lot of things, then buy a longer.
Yes.
But if you want to work with mostly metal, say, or engraving, fine engraving, then the F2 Ultra. If you want to do clear acrylic, then neither of these lasers is going to work. So you really have to have some understanding of what it is you want to aim for.
Chris said Rit Skylar is one of the rare ones. She has a life outside of lasers.
She still posts a lot on our Facebook group.
Yeah, no, she does.
She does some amazing things.
Yeah, but and I'm not speaking bad of her, so don't take this in any way, shape, or form. Early on, like when our discussions, even sometimes offline, she felt like different in the way that we talk and woodworking and stuff. And I think what we identified her as is an artist.
oh, yeah.
Like, because I gave Daniel, a bearded Viking, who's also on Shop Talk Live, still very good friend, a hard time constantly before Skylar was on the live and said, dude, she knocks your boxes out the water, man. but Daniel is like a highly skilled carpenter. But just the things that she does, man, it's just like very artistic, very, very cool.
Yeah, I mean, she is an artist, and as an engineer, I really look at things completely differently. So I do kind of envy the fact that she can make some of the things she makes, because I look at it and go, I couldn't possibly make that.
Yeah. So what also saying that is that don't ever look at something that somebody makes and think that you don't have as good as a skill set, or you can't be as successful in woodworking because you have a different approach to the way that you make something, create something, sell something. Different customers want different things.
Yeah. Although I will definitely say that Skylar has some skills that I can't possibly have.
Oh, same with me.
Yeah, agreed. All right, Dewey said, what size sign? Because you're not going to get a real big with the F2.
Yeah, unless you're cutting out individual letters or something. But
you know what's crazy is, speaking of individual letters, I saw the thing that's going big right now is that these 6 foot tall letters.
Yeah.
You guys seen these? The people are renting for weddings and stuff. They're saying that saying Mrs. or Mr., like Mr. and Mrs., that's all it is. The people are paying $300, $450 to rent it once just for a photo shoot.
Wow. I think I'll have to go down and see Clack and cut some big letters on his next one.
I was like, what? Like, so I've seen like it growing more and more popular. And what's crazy is I've seen this like franchise company now you can buy in that like sells all these letters for like all the events, like a baby shower, a wedding, a birthday. They have like all these templates, which is I don't know if I'd buy into a franchise for that, but $350 to $450 to rent Mrs. and Mr. and Mrs. I don't know, man. That's crazy.
It's for weddings, right? Weddings, people spend crazy amounts of money on.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but sometimes you got to think outside the box. Like, you know what I mean? Like the people that did it, they probably been like, why would you do that? And then they're making that kind of money, 25, 30 grand a year off just that. That's not a bad gig.
Yeah.
Radu said, can't paste picture here, but I have an old one of a DVD rewinder. You mean VHF rewinder?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, a DVD rewinder. You probably pass that off on somebody. Yeah, Chris said we use solar and wind power dryers in Australia more than electric dryers. Well, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Clotheslines are a good thing. I grew up around them.
Yeah, and I live in one of the windiest places on the planet, so you have to sew your clothes to the clothesline, but they get dried.
Well, Santa's laser engraving is saying in college we were taught to dry run our design on the CNC before putting the tools in. Second person run it that week. Didn't listen and put in the bit into the vise, which broke the column.
Nice. Boy.
It's crazy is that I actually I was Googling CNC training, right? And I was watching tutorial videos, and I was surprised at how many local colleges offered courses. Like almost all of them in my area offered courses. I was like, wow, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. Like you mean night courses, right? Like not regular day college courses.
No, like full blown college courses.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And not just like precision metal machining, like woodworking and everything, whole nine. I was surprised.
Yeah, the Spectrum Reality is saying the Louisiana Hobby Guys Lightburn videos are invaluable and the best resource on the web for Lightburn, and I will absolutely agree with that. Rich has done a fantastic job with those.
That's why I've never even attempted to make one.
I haven't either.
Yeah, me too. Same thing. It's like it's already been done. Like can't do better than that. So like just the amount of work, right? Like even if you said, "Oh, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to make videos that compete with Rich's," it's just like 6 months of work.
Rich said, "Thanks for the kind words. Just being honest."
And it's I mean, it covers everything. So.
Well, Same 88 said, I know for limitation for the F2 Ultra, but have fiber too. That's what I like.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, the F2 Ultra is a fiber, but then you'd have two of them if you already have another one.
I think I'm gonna quote Steve. He said your first laser's not going to be your last, and your first one's probably going to be the wrong one, right?
Yeah. Your second one's probably going to be the wrong one too.
Yeah. So I think the reason that I'm saying this is because that I think that when you have a decent amount of money that you can spend on the laser, it gets confusing on what to buy because you have so many creative ideas. And so my thing would be that I would choose, what do you think something you're going to make from your existing customers, because you're an existing business, that's going to give you your fastest return on your investment, because you're undecided because you want to go down two roads, but you can't make both purchases at the same time, and that's fine. So just choose a shorter path that's going to bring you back the money and buy the other one as well, and have them both.
Yeah, well, yeah, not to diminish the value of money, but the other thing is, buy a laser that's going to make some of the things you do now easier.
Yes.
Right?
Or something you can't do.
Save time, right? Save time is the same as making money.
Right. Something you can't do, you want to do, and you have the market for it.
Yeah.
Because you're an existing business. You already have existing clientele. So you don't own the CNC and some of the other expensive things you have because you haven't been making any money. You have had some kind of customers. Chris said, we all know the green screens do not make sawdust. I might walk over. Hold on. Let me just.
There you go. See, now we're going to make him walk. Where are you going?
I think he's going to go get some sawdust.
He's going to go get a handful of sawdust. Oh, it's just to say it's real.
You see, it's real. It's real. It's real. It's It's real.
Now you gotta sweep that up later.
You guys seen that guy who's on YouTube? It's real. He's got the fake metal gold grills, fake diamonds, and he always yells, "It's real."
No, I don't know who that is.
It's some young kid. He has a diamond tester, and he always has fake diamonds on. And he tests it, and he says, "It's real."
Uh-huh.
That's fine. Anyways, there's my sawdust.
Still doesn't mean you don't have a green screen over there, but
I tried turning the camera. I can't figure out how to turn this auto tracking off. So if I do this, I tried turning the camera to show you guys, and the camera kept turning towards back me.
Santa says his shop is still clean.
Well,
he's doing nothing in there. He's one of those people who sweeps up at the end of every day, I bet.
Yeah, the elves can keep it clean for you. Well, see, I don't have any elves here. So longer B1, 40 watt is the best option for a 40 watt diode laser. It is. And by the way, on the Ray 5, that's also now available in a 40 watt. If you
I was going to say,
want to work offline, you can work offline with the Ray 5.
Yeah, I love my longer B1.
Yeah, Alex, I have two of them, and they're workhorses.
Yeah. Nice
laser. ATB Marketing says, Rick, you talk about DeWalt quite often on the stream. He loves DeWalt products. Why aren't they sponsoring all of you, Steve, Roger, and you? Well, DeWalt only sponsors things like NASCAR. They do not sponsor. DeWalt doesn't sponsor influencers.
Yeah, so they do have an influencer program. I've talked to them before, but I'm not approved. But I am a Lowe's affiliate. So the bulk of I got to be careful how I say this, but let's just say I focus on DeWalt on certain things. And that's because that I'm not going to review products or use products that I'm just telling you to buy. I would actually do that in items or products that I actually physically use and truthfully believe that it's a good purchase.
Let's see, when I poked DeWalt about it, it's been a couple of years ago, they said, we don't do that.
Yeah. Well, DeWalt wouldn't sponsor me anyway because I don't actually own anything DeWalt anymore. I had a table saw, which I liked, but
yeah,
it got replaced by something nicer.
Everything I have is DeWalt. Although I have a Milwaukee tape. I like their Milwaukee wide tapes. I call them retard tapes because they say all the measurements on it.
like half, quarter, 8.
Yeah, they're all the way down, like all
64th.
Yeah, like it's all the way down, and it's a fat tape, so you can read it. You don't have to do this and try to read the age now. I lift my glasses.
On the professional level, where we're using them out professionally in the trade, like Rick and I have done, we use DeWalt tools with the company I work for. We also use Milwaukee, and I have nothing bad to say about Milwaukee. They make good tools too. But once you get started on one battery platform,
yes,
that's where you just are kind of stuck.
Yeah. I would say that if I was to put DeWalt, if you walk on a job site, any job site, you're only going to see 2 sets of tools, Milwaukee's or DeWalt. If it's anything other than that, other than Klein, right? Well, DeWalt, Klein, Milwaukee is the only tools you're going to see on any kind of union job. Any than that, like, you're not going to stay on that job too long, or someone's going to say something to you, right? And the biggest thing, like exactly what Roger said, you're invested in that battery. So I would say, like, there's certain specialty tools that one or the other makes, but I wouldn't say they're so much drastically better. But I will say this. I've yet to meet a battery that can beat the 60-volt flex. That battery is amazing.
Yeah, it's a beast. I've got a few tools that use it.
So like my chop saw, I put 2 60-volt flex batteries on there. Whether it's a battery operated or it's plugged into the wall, there's no difference. It doesn't even sound different. So other than when you get to the 60-volt flex, when you get to the 60-volt and higher, because now you're at 120 volts with 2 batteries, they're pretty much the same. I would say close to the same when it comes to Milwaukee or DeWalt. Just they're going to have specialty items, specialty tools that one or the other may be a little bit different, and you'd want that for that particular reason. Yeah. one of the reviews I got coming up is I redid the plumbing on my house, and I had a pipe that was leaking, and no matter how many times I tried to re-sweat that pipe, it was just going, psst. Not like a huge leak, but just the psst. And I was so mad. I cut it, redid it. I just couldn't get it, and it was like a 1/4 inch away from a wall, so you're putting something behind it and you're trying to get it, and I just couldn't get it. So I finally just went and bought the tool that I talked so much smack about, that all these new plumbers, they can't sweat pipes, and I went and it was done in 5 seconds, and I was like but that thing was like $2,700, but
for that one joint.
Well, I'll use it again for sure. I mean, my house was built in 1865. I've been doing one room at a time. So, yeah, but a friend of mine, she said, my spigot went bad, Rick. Can you cut a hole in my ceiling in my basement and give me an access port and then pull a new spigot? And I said, yeah, you know what I've been wanting to do? Let's put a spigot with hot and cold. How many people have that? I've always wanted, I'm going to put that in my house. How many times I have I want to pull out my mat.
Hot water outside?
Yes. How many times you want to pull out your mats or your car seats? I used to go to a car wash just to use the pressure washer because it's hot water just to pressure wash it. I'm gonna have hot water outside on my house.
I've never had the urge to have hot water outside.
Yeah. You heard that, Roger?
Well, in the summertime, if you leave a black hose laying out there with water in it, you'll have hot water, even in the sun. Okay, Same88 saying, I watch a lot of videos from you guys. I think the longer B140 watt is what you guys say is good, and it is good.
Yeah, I think I had this conversation today with somebody. I think most importantly, it's got one really nice feature, which is they actually support things. Like a lot of people buy the cheapest laser they can get, and they buy it from a company that can't afford to support them.
Yeah.
And Longer seems to be, they have a big community on Facebook. They have actual people who answer emails. So that means
I was trying to see if I had a Longer discount code, but I do not.
I probably do.
Well, if you look on one of my videos on the Longer B1, you will find one there because there's I am a Longer affiliate.
Yeah, I have an affiliate link, but I don't have any discount codes right now.
I don't. They haven't sent me any current discount codes.
Right. Yeah.
But I am an affiliate, so
I may not have a current discount code either.
Yeah. So we're all affiliates, but unfortunately at this point, I don't see any updated discount codes. So, but it's a good thing if you guys to ask if you guys ever are going to buy a laser. Hey, do you guys have any current discounts or offers? Because sometimes we may have offers we can't post on Facebook. I got in trouble recently because other influencers who may be watching complained because I had the biggest discount code of anyone, and they said, "Why is Rick's discount code 3 times anyone else's?" So they temporarily lowered it, so they shut up. But it's coming back.
Lowered it until people stop complaining.
Yeah. They said, "Rick, we'll put it back." But the point is, wow, man, come on.
It's got to do with tiering too, right? Like yeah. If you sell a little, then you get a small discount code. If you sell a lot, then your discounts get bigger.
Right, but it was just like, wow, come on, and exactly what you just said, Roger. And it's not like I said like, hey, I want a 35% commission. Like, I'm not asking for money for myself. It was a discount code to give back to people. Yeah. So whatever. It got me a little heated, but whatever. I'm over it. But people are paying attention.
I complained about it.
Seems like it was me. I admit it.
I don't even know who it was.
I had $100 discount code. How Rick is $350? What the hell?
I don't have time to complain about anyone else. I got hard enough time keeping track of myself.
So Spectrum Reality are saying I have a Longer expanded 800 as well. It's a 20 watt. Apparently you can upgrade it to a 30. Yes, you can, but not a 40. Well, you can upgrade it to a 40 now, but the 40 is not, the 40 watt head is not available separate from the laser unit yet. The Longer says that will be coming here soon, where you'll be able to buy the 40 watt head separately.
Mind you, the 40 watt laser by itself probably won't be a whole lot cheaper than just buying the whole laser, right?
True.
True.
Then you'll have spare motherboards and other spare parts.
Yeah. Steppers. Well, yeah, I don't know if they use the same steppers or not. Might have to upgrade those too.
Let's see. Same media. If you think there's another 40-watt open frame laser like longer V1, it's better and longer, please tell me. Now, I honestly, I think we're all going to agree on this one that the longer V1 is of the 40-watt. That's your workhorse. You're going to be solid.
Yeah, I mean, the reality is the clock is ticking on open frame lasers, right? There's not that many left.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got Meiji, which apparently has bad support. You've got Atom Stack, and
well, there's Ortur, and one of the nice things about the B1 too is you have a large work area. Like if you had an Ortur and Atom Stack, their work area is a little bit smaller.
Oh, and Sanders Lasers Engraving. I found the Atom Stack camera. Now you're asking about it, so I'll circle back to you offline. It was under a box of filters. That's like I couldn't figure out where it was.
David say if I hadn't bought a Class 1 laser, I'd be blind. I just wear my bug eyes when I'm got the open frames running. I don't have kids around or anything.
Those who have not seen Steve's when he says, I'm sorry, Roger, when he says bug eyes glasses, I mean, those are bug eye glasses. I wish you're in your wood shop, you could bring those bad boys out. Roger. Those like every spectrum, right? Then you can be safer on everything.
Yeah. Yeah, they were not cheap. They were made by Cloud Ray. They were $70. I mean, they were not cheap.
Of course, he can't see anything because it blocks all wavelengths of light. This is like putting a bag over his head.
That's funny.
Steve, Santa says, Steve, I feel your pain. Originally, I wanted to be an architect, but cannot freehand draw. Yeah, I get it. Hello, engineering. I actually thought about becoming an architect at one point, but it never worked out. I'm left-handed, so every time I touch a pencil on a piece of paper, there's a smudge somewhere, right? And the professor, the prof I had for architectural drawing just basically told me to do something else.
Look here, son.
In the nicest possible way, right? To say,
just be a gym teacher.
You can't draw.
Right. Who said, I think they just posted something about the 40-watt for the longer 5 frames.
Yeah. It just came out. I don't know if you can get the 40-watt module separate though yet.
Okay, Rick, here you go.
Yes. Hold on a second. Hold on.
So there's my bug eye goggles, and they are they're fantastic. They go over my prescription glasses. They're comfortable. But yeah, they're make me look like an alien when I have them on. There's been some comments, but I don't care.
Yeah. He was an extra in Back to the Future.
No, and if you remember Star Wars, where they're all in the bar with all the different aliens, and I was in there.
Chris said the real skill is coming up with what to make, not actually making it. There's several ways to make it once you have a project. You know what I think we were saying is that it's one thing to make something with the laser. It's one thing to make something just purely with hand tools. It's one thing to make something with a CNC. It's when you can start cross contaminating, so to speak, your builds. That's really what starts setting you apart, because someone may not have a laser and a CNC. So that's just, to me, that's just cool, and it shows a different skill set as well.
Yeah, this is, I harp on this once in a while, that I see people buy a single tool like a laser and assume that'll be the only tool they need. And it's like, no, you gotta have tools, right? It's you have to be able to do things that other people can't or have a hard time to do. So that means you got to have a laser, maybe a couple different lasers.
Yeah.
CNC. And the problem is it costs money, right? So
The Central said large props don't make a lot of sense for photos. You can fake it so easily. You know what? You can definitely fake it, but you're not going to make your wife happy. That's what that is, man. Because you can't put that fake smile on her. And there's an old thing they say, "Happy wife, happy life." You know, and I think when it comes to a wedding, it's so damn expensive. That $300 sign is a small potatoes, probably, right? So I think, but I definitely the old school photography versus this new tube photography. I mean, it's nuts. They'll change your clothes. I mean, they'll. It is insane. Um, but it's something to be said with those props, right? It's also that you're seeing the reaction in their face because they're actually legitimately having a good time and laughing, and you can't get that genuine smile to somebody because they're faking the background. They're not getting the same reaction. That's my only thing. My wife's big into photography, so, and I know if Skylar's here, she'd probably say something about that too because
she's here. I just saw a post. She's on
big
here.
into photography.
Yeah.
So, Skylar, chime in on that one right there. You know, fake actual props to get a reaction from someone, a genuine reaction versus Photoshop some in the background. Zentendra said props is an event and another thing. Yep.
well, now you don't even have to Photoshop, right?
Yeah.
Nano Banana is your friend for that sort of thing. You can get married in a t-shirt and jeans, and they'll put a tuxedo on you after.
Spectrum Reality said, "LOL for sure, Chris. Too many things you can make."
Yeah, the creativity spark is definitely a hard thing to get your head around sometimes. It's like we can all learn how to use tools, but you still need to know what you want to do with them at some point, right?
Redu said, "No, Rick, it was a DVD rewinder. It was a joke. People actually put in orders." That's hilarious.
Yikes.
That's hilarious.
There's probably a tariff specifically called out for that one.
Oh yeah. Any thoughts on East Sun filament? Well, no, I can't reach it from here. I use it. I have no problems with it.
I've been using a lot of Sunlu filament lately.
I use East Sun, Sunlu, but primarily bamboo, and I've got a whole stack of filament over here from Anycubic.
Like I've looked at the newish Sunlu filament. I'm pretty sure it's the same guys that make bamboo's filament. It looks exactly the same, and it performs exactly the same way. But I've used lots of eSun filament too.
Rich from Louisiana Hobby Guy said, "Carl from Thinkerverse makes great light burn videos as well."
Yep. He's also been a guest on our show, Rick. He's the guy.
There you go.
Same 88 said he will go with the 40 watt because it's affordable.
Yep.
Clark said, "Well, they sell that at Hobby Lobby." Yeah, I think we talked about that last week.
Yeah, I haven't been to Hobby Lobby here in a while, so next time I'm in there, I'll have to take a look around.
Yeah, I mean, Best Buy is selling 3D printers now. You know, Hobby Lobby wasn't too far to get behind that because that's their warehouse, right? They're like, "Hey, what are you doing, Best Buy? Stepping in on our territory." Want to take this, Steve?
Same 88 says I can cut 1/4-inch MDF or plywood fairly quickly and engrave good cutting boards and other small wooden projects.
40 watt laser will do that just fine.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. If your 1/4-inch plywood's 100% power, 600 millimeters per minute, one pass. Got a nice clean cut.
Yeah, MDF is hit or miss depending on the MDF.
Depends who made it.
You can get charred embers out of it, or you can actually get a nice cut, but it depends. There's
and sometimes
different types of glue they use.
Yeah, I've put frog tape down, but you can still sand to try to limit any charring or masking tape.
Yeah, but it's the actual cut itself that gets pretty charred.
Like you said, yeah, It's hit or miss. Yeah. So I
And you
definitely did some experimenting.
then you run this edge of it across your hand. You got a big black streak, and you got to go wash your hands. So
Yeah.
I've had some bad experiences with cutting MDF on lasers.
Yeah.
So Sam 88's asking now he needs advice from you guys which 40-watt open frame to buy. Again, I'm gonna vote for the B1, longer B1.
I'd pick that one too.
There you go.
I mean, there's in the 40-watt space, there's lots of good ones, but the B1 is a safe bet. Hold up your hand like a stop sign and turn off tracking. Oh, this is.
It doesn't work. I don't know why. I even went under the settings and checked the little box and turned tracking off, and it still tracks me. Look. Stop.
Does that pop up a menu or something when you do that?
It's weird. I can't get it to stop tracking me. I had someone email. Sorry for my English. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry for my English.
Right. We said I also have the B1 and loving it. There you go. See?
Yeah, there you
go. Sammy says he was trying to say which one of the 40 watts open frame is best. I'd say the B1 would be my vote.
Yep.
Yeah, if you want an open frame, that one's probably certainly on the very short list.
Bozzy the trucker is saying 60% of his tools are DeWalt. I am probably at the 95% with tools being DeWalt, power tools.
Yeah. Every power tool I own is DeWalt.
I'm mostly, for hand power tools, I'm mostly Milwaukee.
Okay.
But when my palm sander dies, which it never seems to want to, I'll buy a Festool palm sander.
You know what? Festool just recently came out with a new line of hand tools. Did you guys see that? And they're cheaper.
Like non-powered hand tools or just powered hand tools?
Powered hand tools, but like a new series of like everything. They seem like thinner, if that makes sense. Not so
they're trying to get into the consumer market and away from
so.
This boy.
Like your track saw.
Well, who's Festool owned by? It's like there's only like a handful of companies that actually make these tools, right? And like Milwaukee and Hilti, they're all the same company. Festool, I forget who owns them. Might be Makita, but
whatever you do, don't buy rigid. I went cheap and didn't buy a DeWalt planer because I couldn't afford it at the time. And I said, well, you know, the only thing I could say is I made enough money, run it. What I ran through that machine, the rigid, it paid for itself. But that's about it.
Yeah,
I now own a DeWalt.
I'm not a fan of rigid tools either.
So I mean, it was like $350 versus like what, $750 for the DeWalt. You know, so it definitely gave my money back, but that's about it. And it was so loud, so the piercing noise. Like I said, I've been around heavy equipment my whole life. That hurt my ears. Like I definitely had to wear sound protection. So I'm gonna take it to rigid and get it fixed because they do have their lifetime warranty, and I'll be putting it on Facebook Marketplace for sale. And whatever I get, just put it towards the DeWalt.
Yeah. Well, regardless, a planer, you need ear protection anyway.
Yeah, they're loud.
Yeah, some of them aren't too bad while they're just idling, but the second you put wood in, they're all loud.
Yeah, like
it's like a CNC, right? It's especially with the spindle, it's almost silent when it runs, but once you put a piece of wood under it, it gets real noisy real fast.
Yeah. Spectrum Reality said I would have just cut the pipe and put on a shark bite. What are we talking about?
For your plumbing project?
Shark bites aren't allowed everywhere. So, you know, especially for us in Illinois with some of the codes, the stores may not be allowed to sell them.
So, you can buy a shark
depend
bite
on your jurisdiction.
I just, man, I don't know. I hate
my nephew's a plumber and he hates shark bite fittings.
Yeah.
He said plumbers don't want to use them.
No. Zentento said a long black garden hose makes hot water.
Yeah.
Not in the wintertime, though. Not in the wintertime.
Depends where you live.
Yeah, I guess.
Clayton can get hot water in the wintertime.
Oh, here's a math question for you, Rick.
Yeah, I'm the wrong person to ask that question.
So how long a hose will I need at 50 centigrade or 130 Fahrenheit summer temp will I need for a 15-minute shower?
A lot. Well, it depends if you take long showers, right?
You gotta run it up the gutter, around the roof, back down the other gutter, and you're good to go.
Just down to the end of your street and back. You won't have a lot of pressure by the time it gets back. But
Yeah. AWT Marketing said, so where I used to work at a dog care facility, the maintenance guy was going to install a hose spigot outside and asked if we wanted hot or cold. I said both. We use it for different reasons. Yeah, see, I'm telling you. Like,
yeah, but at a dog care facility, they're probably bathing dogs, right?
I used to own a detail shop and a body shop for a long time, and I got used to that, having the hot and cold, and that was great. And when I'm cleaning my Harley or something like that, it would just be nice. And I love to. I got those WeatherTech mats. As great as they work, they suck because like they get everything stuck in them. So it keeps your car immaculate, but they
Pressure
catch
washer.
stuff.
Pressure washer, and it doesn't matter what the temperature of the water is.
Yeah, it's just nice to hit them with some scalding hot water really fast and cleans them up real fast. You're in and out, get them done. AP Marketing says reasons, and so did he. We had hot and cold. Yeah, it's cool. Actually, the guy at Home Depot was like all like geeky, like, I've seen these at the store. I've never seen anyone buy one. That's so cool. He's like, I've always wanted one too since I've seen this existed. Radu says, you have a link by chance to the Bug Eyes?
They are sold on Amazon. The brand name is Cloud Ray. Cloudray.
Is it made by Cloud Ray Lasers? Like
Yeah.
a laser?
No,
Oh, okay.
It's not the same company.
I don't think so. They have a lot of eye protection, different. There's different spectrums. One I have covers pretty much everything. The only thing I don't like with it, with when I'm wearing those, if I'm using my IR, I can't see it at all. It's just not there. It just blanks it out completely.
Completely filters it out.
I throw some other glasses on for that. There's Skylar. She says, loves the longer lasers. My first company to send me a laser for review, and she just reached 1,000 subscribers, and it was a Ray 5. Yep. Yeah, you could probably do it 200 to 300 feet of hose. So
try it and let us know how it works out.
There's more engineers in the audience tonight.
Okay, I guess I more or less just answered this. If they're rated for the IR, CO2, and diode, CO2 and diode are great, but like I said with the IR, I can't see it at all. It's just not there.
Yeah, the ones I have will do pretty much everything as well, including UV, which is nice.
I'm
like
not gonna lie.
The diode end reaches down below 300 nanometers. So
I'm not gonna lie, and it's probably bad, but I've just been using what they send me. I probably should.
Oh, but they're such terrible glasses.
I know.
Like, you might as well just like poke your eye right down the end of the laser.
I'm not gonna lie.
Like they're literally like $1.50. Those things.
There's so many of these blue diode laser companies are sending you glasses that are green or red.
Yeah,
they're supposed to be orange. Orange is the opposite of blue. It cancels blue.
Yeah, the green ones will do some blocking, but like the orange ones typically their optical densities like 6+, and the green ones is maybe 3. So they work, but they're not fantastic.
Ricky has a pair of really nice green ones. They're darker green, but it's like welding glasses. Like you can't see anything until the light hits. You know, yeah. Mine are pretty cheap.
Quack says, using all the tools make me special.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You know, I laugh at guys that do that. Like they have like Ryobi battery and a DeWalt and Milwaukee, and I'm like, oh, because they only have 2 batteries because they don't, like, oh god, dude, like what the heck? All right, here we go.
Tim says, question for the Genmitsu 4030 V2. What size for the extension kit? There's is the 6060 XY axis or the 1313? Well, I mean, the one I have is a 60. I upgraded it now to a 6060. If you want something really big, a 1313, right? It's basically 4 feet in each direction.
So it's a 4x4.
Yeah.
Or yeah.
Yeah, it's 1300 millimeter square, which is about 4 feet.
The Spectrum Reality says he's off grid. Has a propane hot water on demand unit. Going to switch to a Webasto diesel unit for the winter. Like to build a wind or water wheel that can heat water.
Wow, he's seriously off grid.
Oh,
yeah. If you don't mind me asking, where do you live, or what state or country? Just curious.
He's gonna say Canada. I know
it. With the spinning wheel and the magnets use induction. That's crazy. That's cool. That's totally cool. Oh, here you go. Skylar chimed in. All in for actual props.
Yeah, when I get some photography, I've got a little thing coming up to take a whole bunch of portraits of kids to put on Christmas ornaments coming up next month. So I got to get my skills in order again, and my backdrops and my props, and try to make little kids smile. Yeah, so I got to get the little stuffed animals out and the little puppets. And
she said part of the event, part of the memory. Exactly what I was saying.
Yeah.
Like that, those smiles, those things. It's a genuine reaction. You're not going to be able to duplicate that. So AI can't fix everything. Sorry, guys. It could definitely make you look skinnier, though. Maybe make you look nicer clothes. But that fake smile, you can still tell. At least right now. Spectrum Reality said either that or a cativation water heater that could possibly combine the two, which would likely produce steam. It could be used for power. Like, whoa, dude, you just want like supersonic, crazy, like.
I'm intrigued now. Like this is like serious off grid.
Either like, are you like messing with us, or like you are like definitely geeky into it, which is cool. I'm not like being disrespectful.
Like a cavitation water heater is like, I mean, this is like.
Are you like
it's cool? It's cool.
You way up in the mountains somewhere, or what? I know Colorado, like there was tons
of
got crazy.
It's coming up. He just posted where he's at. He's up there in Steve's country.
See, I have electricity.
we'll get to it. Tim said, follow up. Can you use your own spoil board for extension kits if you don't want to buy their table's base?
Yeah. You can make something.
You sound hesitant.
Well, so their base, it's a bunch of slats, right? And then you can put the wood in the center of it. But if you get their I would say buy them from them the first time, Tim, and then after that you can make your own spoil board. Oh wait, is that true? That maybe not be true with the Genmitsu. I'll have to look. Shoot me an email, Tim, and I'll find out for you. Because it seems to me when I upgraded, I used my own spoil board.
Sam88 said, "Thank you guys for your help. I really appreciate it. That's what we're here for. That's the question.
Yep.
That's the whole idea of the live event. Live questions and answers." Yeah, Tim, you can just make your own.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can certainly make them, but I didn't know if they're. I can't remember. I couldn't remember if they were the individual slats. But like I said, when I did the upgrade to the 6060, they didn't include any spoil board material, so had to make my own. So you can definitely do it.
Skylar said, "I have 3 Festool sanders and I love them all."
You know, I was up at Acme Tool in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and they have a big Festool section up there. It's a huge tool store. It's a candy store for guys, believe me.
Yeah.
And hang on to your credit card when you're going there. But I have DeWalt sanders, electric ones, plus some battery ones, and they vibrate like hell. And
Yeah.
I do a lot of sanding when we build candy boards, and we build hundreds of them a year. And I went hands on with one of the Festool sanders up there just to try it out. Oh wow!
Yeah, they're
I just
nice,
wish
but
it,
it's the
So
difference
there's no
between
vibration
paying.
in your hand.
oh, it's a big difference.
Yeah,
The
it's a
amount of
difference between
vibration.
paying $120 for a sander and $500 for a sander.
Yeah. So I haven't bought one yet, but it's kind of
Yeah,
on the list. It's
I like their palm sanders, and I actually like their or their chop saw too, their miter saw. If
I do a
my
lot of sanding too, Roger.
if my
A lot of
if my miter saw ever dies, which it apparently never will, I'd buy a Festool miter saw too.
The one thing I thought that was cool and we could come in, I can see their track saw hand come in handy at times. Now I like that the way the blades butted up, so it'd be easier to measuring. Because I make my own makeshift one with the 8-foot level. Now measure it off to do some stuff. Sometimes when something's super long of a board that I'm cutting, to make sure I don't go off because I'm like using weights to hold the board. So the board don't shift on me. So I have the board kind of down and I use that. So, but otherwise, if it's something I can hold, it's not that big of a deal. But when I'm cutting something really, really long and I'm worried about it moving on me, I don't want that. If I don't have the luxury of that sanding it out, I don't, that could ruin my piece.
I've got I don't have a track saw, but I've got, and I'm sitting here trying to remember the brand name of the. It's a long aluminum thing that clamps on. One of them is 4 foot, the other one's 8 foot, and they're adjustable down to less than that too. And it's got a sled that goes on it, and I've actually used a yard sale Craftsman circular saw on it. That's
Yep.
my track saw, and it works absolutely perfect.
Yeah, I use a Milwaukee circular saw. Spectrum Reality said, I painted aluminum sheet metal on my spoil board for safety. No burn thought wouldn't catch on fire. Louisiana Hobby Guy said, Festool is owned by TTS Tool Technique Systems.
Yeah, I just went and looked up to see what other brands they own. SawStop was the one I was thinking of. They TTS owns Festool, SawStop, and Shaper.
Sounds like Graving said, when I was on my workshop, my Black & Decker jigsaw that I bought 40 years ago was a teenager finally died. Yeah. It's like Black & Decker and Stanley tools, right? Where like the old school, like there's still some around.
Well, they still,
Right.
so somebody, it might actually be TTS bought up the Black & Decker name. And
Yeah.
same with Stanley, right? They don't actually make any tools.
Right.
Stanley, Black & Decker is all one company now.
Trader Skill Anonymous says Festool. Oh, there you go. Who they're owned by. Third generation family owned company that owns a brand like SawStop and Sharper. TTS Group is based in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay. Roger, you're up.
So, Bozzy Trucker says, last month he sold over 250 coasters and just got an order for another 50. Great deal. I just got done making 100 here this past week for a bar.
Make sure that you post those on our Facebook group and you tag Steve in the post.
I was going to say, every time I hear somebody making coasters, I think they got like this chain around their neck and it's like some guy whipping them to make coasters.
Post a picture on the Facebook group.
I had a request from someone, actually it was yesterday, that wants me to make them some car coasters. The little ones with the little seat cutout you put in the cup holder in your car.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And they want 50 of them with their company name on them.
Like neoprene or something?
I'll make them, yeah, they'll be neoprene. They'll be sublimated. Spectrum Realities have a Black & Decker cordless I got as a gift. It's been a champ. I still have a Black & Decker drill from back in the 70s. It's completely full aluminum frame, 3-wire grounded, quarter-inch chuck. You got to have a chuck key, 1 speed, no reverse, but it still works.
Yeah, I have an old school drill too. A hammer drill. Yeah.
ATB says, once purchased a Ryobi battery operated drill/screwdriver to hang frames. Thing burned after 1 hour of use, never again. It was just 1 in a million, but still, well, it happens.
Yeah.
That can happen with any brand, really.
Yeah, I've had trouble with Ryobi stuff. Mostly
You know what?
they're weed eaters and stuff, right? They're trimmers, glass.
Before I was a DeWalt guy, before I was in the trades, my tool of choice was Craftsman. And once I got in the trades, I went to DeWalt and never looked back. Yeah. Tim said a spectrum of reality, so I can buy the rails and wire extensions, mount the frame to be table, and create my own spoil boards.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you create your spoil board, Tim, drill some holes in it every 50 millimeters or 2 inches, and use like 1/2-inch PEX or 3/4-inch PEX pipe to use as holders on the, like, as pins in the.
That's what I have not done yet, Steve. On mine CNC, I've been wanting to do that.
Yeah,
definitely wanting to do that. That's
I did that. I like it because like I've cut squares and cams so that you can kind of clamp things in there. But they're all built on like, I think it's 3/4-inch PEX pipe, water pipe.
Right.
And because it's plastic, so it's kind of slippery when it goes in there, and works well. But my next step is to build a vacuum table. I'll build one.
Still money.
You can actually just suck air through MDF.
It's that porous?
Yeah, it's pretty porous. Now I wouldn't do that. I'd drill holes in it, but
right. Schultzke Anonymous says festival. Oh, didn't we just do this one? Hold on,
did that one.
I was still waiting to find out where Spectrum of Reality lives. Did I miss that message?
Spectrum Reality said plumbers don't like shark bites because it replaces their service. I own rental houses and have dozens of shark bites. Never had one fail. Click, you're done. I agree to some point that it's taking a skill set away and it's allowing a homeowner to use it to just do it. But I'm not sold on longevity or.
Yeah. So they're easy to use. That's the nice thing. But I have had a shark bite connector fail.
Yeah. The fact that I didn't sweat a pipe, the only way I was going to do is crimp that bad boy on. Yeah, that just. My dad used to say, if you're going to do something right, if you're not going to do something right, just don't bother doing it at all. And then my wife was like, I call a buddy of mine as a plumber, and I said, hey, Carmen, how much did you charge me to run pipe from my basement up to the second floor? The second floor up, from the basement to the first floor, from the first floor to the second floor, up into my bathroom, redo all the piping in my tub, and then redo all the piping for my 2 sinks. He says, like $3,000 for the piping plus anything additional for fixtures. And I said, well, tool's cheaper than that. So that's why I justified it to my wife. I mean, mind you, I only went and did one.
That's how I ended up with a Kubota tractor.
I keep laughing because I bought the little Kubota for my wife, and I have a John Deere. My John Deere is broken down like 3 times, and it's cost 3 times the price of that Kubota.
Well, your Kubota is not a diesel, though, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Is it? Because it's a weird model. What model is that?
I don't know.
It's not a BX.
Yeah, it's diesel. Yeah, it's definitely a diesel. Huh. That thing is, and even the battery. Like I start that thing like 3 times a year. It just starts right up. I'm like, I don't know what battery this is, man. My Harley, if I don't start that thing or have it on a trickle charge, my battery is dead. That thing, it's negative 12 degrees and it'll just start right up. Like, what the hell? You can't kill that thing. Yeah. TJ Michael said, I worked in the tool crib at a fence data.
Yeah, Facebook data farm.
Milwaukee will last, especially when you have 400 IBW brothers and sisters using them.
Yep, there's nothing wrong with Milwaukee tools. I don't have a problem with them. I just happen to be on the DeWalt platform.
So speaking of what you just said, right? Because when you go on a union job, it's the DeWalt, Milwaukee. If you look at any one of my tools, they always have this. My initials all over them. And it's because somebody guy might pick up your tool and walk away, and guess what? Because he has the same damn thing. Yeah. Every tool I own it's like that. ABT Mark says, well, this is about outside. We used to use we used to use cold as drinking for the dogs, hot to clean the poop on the cement, and when walking the dogs. Yeah.
No.
You want to take this, Roger?
Now you're likely to have to replace your wire harness, whatnot, but yeah, you can make your own board and great.
Yeah, if you buy the conversion kit, it comes with the wire harness as well. So.
Yeah, it says he bought a Ryobi cordless drill for one project, and the battery sucked him into about 287 cordless tools later. Well, DeWalt did the same thing. You buy one, and then, well, you know, I got the battery. I can buy this tool. And...
Yeah.
But I tell you what, though, that we're making fun of the batteries, but when you buy a tool without the batteries, it's so much cheaper. It's a big that battery is a big cost in that purchase. So if you already have all your batteries, like, it's a big savings. You can get some decent tools without the batteries for cheap.
Oh, he says he asked about my bug eye stick. I might be an affiliate. Yeah, a couple pennies does help, but yeah, I do have a link. If you find one of my videos where I'm wearing those, there is an Amazon link. I am an Amazon affiliate, and I'll get 20 cents. So
it all adds up in the end.
Yep.
Yep.
Oh, go ahead. What was this one? Oh, here.
Oh. Says, but green is my favorite color. I like it so much. I like it because it's better than blue and yellow combined. Well, there's one for Steve.
What's your recommended servicing bit? Oh, Rick just bought one there, but I have a like an 1 3/4 Amana surfacing bit.
I don't
I
remember
like
the brand.
it because I can sharpen it.
Yeah, so same thing with Steve's point is that I don't remember the brand, but I did post it in our Facebook group. It was expensive.
Yeah.
But I figured that's one blade that I'm gonna use constantly. And also figured that it may be one blade I mess up. So I like the fact that you could replace the blades. But I think it was like $300, I think.
Yeah, I don't remember what I paid, but oddly enough, it's not the one that touches my spoil board the most.
Yeah.
Whatever touches it, it immediately touches it right after I do level the board with it. Then I screw it up with something else. Wow, $13.13 for $200. That's not a bad price.
Well, $200 off.
Right.
Oh, okay. Then it's a less bad. It's a less good price, but yeah. I mean, if you got the room, you're never going to regret buying something that's bigger. Well, with the exception of maybe Flax Acmer X1, but in the CNC space, you want the bigger your CNC, the better it is. Because eventually someone's going to come to you with something that's like, if you got the 60/60 set, someone's going to come and say, I want something that's 650 millimeters long. And you'll go, oh, I should have bought the 1330.
I want to say something about my son being in a lot of my videos. And my father was in the trades. My father was he was part of the Newark Airport project, was part of the Denver Airport project. I said that before. I was kind of like a military brat, shipped all over the country, traveling as a kid. My family's military family. So, we're not a rich family by any means, right? We're a blue collar family. And one thing someone told me right as I was having kids is they says, Rick, don't give your kids everything you never had. Teach them everything that no one ever taught you. And the older my kids got, and the longer I became a father. And I say that because when you have kids, they don't come with owner's manuals, right? And you're learning as a man, as a parent, as a human being. And I've really been trying to teach my son everything that I can. And so when I'm putting in these videos and I'm sharing my skill sets with others, I'm really sharing these to pass this on to my son as well. So a while back, someone made a negative comment about my son asking questions about a laser video. I think that was on Adamstack Craft with the water that turns on. And when over 200 people just attacked him for saying a negative comment that my son shouldn't say anything and ruin the video, really meant a lot. And so I just want to say thanks. And that's really why my son's in my video. Not that he's a prop and I'm using him for extra videos. Really, just because he's a big part of my shop and working with me every day. So yeah, that's my father moment, my dad moment. Yeah.
Oh, here's the message. Northern Ontario. Hey, Rick used to live in Northern Ontario.
Yes, I was the only Mexican there, literally.
Probably the only Mexican within like 300 square miles.
Probably still to this day.
Now he says he's got 2 rivers that meets in his front yard, very off grid, 13 kilometers off the pavement and 30 from town.
Wow. What's the closest town? It's probably like Sudbury or Timmins or something.
Yeah, I used to live near Kirkland Lake. Yeah.
It's become it was an asbestos mining town at one point.
Yes.
And now it's become just a senior citizens community because real estate's dirt cheap, right? Because no one wants to live in the middle of nowhere in an old mining town.
My neighbor literally had a plane that would land in the water.
Yeah. Yeah, when you get up there, that's the preferred mode of transportation. Right?
Yeah, you land, you get out, walk to the front, you tie it off.
Once they shut the mine there, there's not a lot of reason to be there, unless you're an old person. Then you can, they got a doctor and a hospital and a whole bunch of old people who live in cheap houses. Yeah,
the grade school was so small that they didn't have a bus for my sister. The school just sent a taxi. So my mom was so worried. They're like, it'll be the same taxi driver every day. So at least he'll get to know her. They're not going to send a bus for one kid. So that's kind of funny.
Closest power pole to his house is about a mile. Straight line. Yeah. Well, a mile's not too bad. They'd probably only charge you about $50,000 to put a line in.
So it makes sense of your off-grid living, and it's very cool that you're being.
You can still be a maker, which is cool. Yeah.
Yes. But what's cool too is about Canada is like all the raw resources you have around you, that you can still do stuff like that, man. That's cool.
Yeah, we're definitely resource rich.
Yes.
Oops, sorry. We just need to dig it out of the ground, right?
What's that?
I said we have lots of resources. We just need to dig them out of the ground.
Oh yeah.
So same 88 saying be a given longer B1 40 watt or the longer Ray 5 40 watt. What's the difference? The difference is with the Ray 5, you can work offline. You can put your G code onto a micro SD card and plug it into the control head, and you can run it without being connected to a computer. On the B1, you have to be connected to a computer to like Lightburn or something like that.
So my only advice is that you're going to get so used to doing it the other way. I don't think it's a huge advantage. I think the only way that the other way is an advantage if you're going to bring a laser to a trade show and you want it in an enclosure and you're going to run the same file over and over and over again. I don't know. That'd really be the only advantage I'd see. I don't really see an advantage of not having a laptop.
Well, yeah, the Ray 5 is not quite as robust as a B1, right?
Like no, the B1 has a lot heavier frame to it.
Yeah, it's a bigger, meatier frame and a little more stable.
Right, but what I'm saying is I don't see the advantage of not needing a laptop when it comes to a laser. I definitely saw.
Yeah, well, at some point you need a computer to make the G code anyway, right? So
right.
I'm going to give you an example here a little bit because I just happen to have these handy. Whoops. This is a laser mount for a Ray 5. So you can see the size of that. This is the foot mount for a B1. You can see there's a huge difference there in just the mount. So if you were to buy risers, this happens to be a riser here. So this is the base, and then there are risers that go in and they slip in like this, and you can go up to whatever you want. But like you see, they're big.
So you can see the
something
big
we
difference
make here.
Yeah, the thickness of the framing on that.
Yeah, everything is more robust and heavier duty on the B1.
So go the longer B1, unless it was a financial reason you had to go the other way, and you're going purely based off the power. But if you can afford the longer B1,
I would wonder how, because the Ray 5 frame is only 2020 extrusion, right? Then you're going to stick a 40-watt laser module on that. I wonder how stable that actually is.
I would wonder what it would be like since I've
got
got mine expanded to 800 millimeter.
Yeah, well, yeah, with 40 with 2020 extrusion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just go with the longer B1.
Yeah.
Just go with the longer B1. It's
a
proven workhorse.
That you don't see vibration. Now, lasers don't have to be super precise anyway, but it's not like a 3D printer. If it rattles around, you'll see it in the print.
You want to take this, Steve?
Spectrum of Reality says, I have what's called riparian water rights, which allows me to utilize the rivers for various things. Oh, neat. So you can actually put a water wheel in the river.
That's cool.
Huh.
So talk about beachfront property.
Yeah, JM Creative Studios say, love to have a Festool Saturn track saw, but in Oz are wild dollars. They're wild dollars here too. But
they're wild dollars everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's why they came out with that other line. I was seeing it, but they don't seem as beefy. And I don't know if they work as well, but they definitely don't seem as bulky. I don't know if I've never honestly used one of their saws, but that to me was the obvious difference just by looking at them.
They probably just took one of the cheaper brands in the family and painted it black and green. And
yeah, Bozzy the trucker said car coasters are popular. His wife sold a lot of them. I've sold a few here and there in the past. I've never had an order for that many at once. Yeah, and they blame the shipping cost, yet we are closer to China where the bulk are made. That's Chris at JM. Yeah, this here, ATB is saying, my dad would tell me the same thing. If you're not going to do it right, don't do it at all. So I tell him, okay, see ya. Yeah.
Not.
I wouldn't have got away with that, but that is funny.
Not the answer I was expecting. See, I would have woken up a few minutes later off the floor. I told my dad that. What happened? I don't know what happened. You just fell out.
Yeah. What he really meant was you're going to do it the right way, or you're not going to do it at all. And he meant maybe unconscious, right?
He's going to put you to sleep with one of these.
Yeah.
Chris
said, Rick, what battery would you look?
Yeah, he says
Rick, what battery
in that case, your case would look better if you UV engraved your initials on it.
Yeah. You don't have a UV laser, do you?
No.
Well, there'd be an excuse.
Yeah, that would be cool. Actually, I was supposed to get a UV laser. I was asked to do the 30-watt Reyes, and then the next layer is supposed to be the UV, and they gave me a list of things I'm supposed to do, and I did it. And then after I finished it, they gave me another list of 10 things, and I got mad, and I said, nah. And then later on, I said, all right. So I'm going to end up doing the 10 things, and I'll have the UV laser. But it just made me mad, to be honest, that, hey, I made an agreement for something. And then to also take a company, when you Googled them, they wouldn't even come up. So after all the SEO tags and all the stuff, I helped them with their website, their Facebook group, not alone just my videos, made them come up #1 right under paid advertisement. To me, that was like, man, I did above and beyond what you asked of me. So that's why I was so upset about it. So from an influencer perspective, if you're looking for sponsorships and those type of things, sometimes there's strings attached, for sure. You're not just getting a video, just getting a product and you're doing a one and done type video. Sometimes manufacturers want certain things.
Yeah. So Spectrum of Reality says, yeah, I live near Sudbury in North Bay. I know that area. It's nice country up there, but you are in the wilderness.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris is saying my dad involved me in his business. I'll have to say digging septic tanks in the sand is not his idea of fun.
But it put food on your table as a kid, and it probably put some calluses on your hands. It taught you to be a good man.
Canada's team is in the lead.
Jays.
Yeah.
Jays Yankees tonight.
Yeah, Rich is saying
for the Yankees.
they charge him $100 a foot at his vacation house in Mississippi to bring power to it. Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
I don't know what they would charge here because every pole they'd have to put in, they'd have to drill a hole in rock to get it in there.
The Spectrum Reality is saying about 3 hours to Toronto if you want to deal with people. Great fishing here and plenty to do outdoors. Sounds like you're in a great spot.
Yeah, it's a good place for fishing, that's for sure.
Yeah. I remember as a kid, I was fishing so much. They said either to learn clean your own fish or stop fishing. Because man, and when you caught a fish out there, it was a fish.
Catching pike, right? Northern pike.
Yeah. It wasn't a little bluegill that was 4 inches long. You catching a fish as long as my leg as a kid, you know.
Well, mind you, your leg it's probably not that long now, but it was probably much shorter then.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As a kid, it was as long as my leg, you know. Yeah.
Okay, Trade Skills Anonymous saying, where the three of you guys located? Do you have special considerations for your shops versus weather? Curious about your shop layouts. I am in Western Illinois on the Iowa-Illinois border, and we have wintertime here, and my shop is heated.
So I'm in Southwest Illinois, and my wood shop is in my basement. It's heated and colded, and I keep my humidity at 50%. And painting and things like that. I have a 2.5 car garage that I do things, staining, painting, and things like that to keep the smells out of my house. It's currently not heated, but I will be installing a VVOR heater in that garage. So that'll be upcoming video you're going to see.
And I'm on the east coast of Canada, about 2 miles from the Atlantic Ocean, just outside of Halifax. My workshop is detached, so I have a 35 by 25 detached garage from my house, and it's heated. And the only thing I really have to worry about weather-wise is hurricanes, but that doesn't seem to be happening this year, which is good for me.
Steve, you're heated. Do you burn any wood since you have all kinds of scraps?
No.
Roger, you seen those double barrel metal
wood heaters?
Yeah.
They sell them at Rural King or Fire and Fleet. I've always wanted to put one of those in my garage.
Well, I have a couple of reasons for not doing it. One is I don't want to cut the wood, but the other one is I don't have room. Yeah. I mean, that takes up space. Then you got to have clearance around all the way around it.
Gotcha.
I throw all my small scrap hardwood stuff in a little box, and when it gets full, I give it to my brother. He burns. He has a fireplace. I mean, I have enough solar panels on my house to pay for electricity, right? So that's cheap firewood for me. Sun comes out, I make money. So
yeah, I take all my scraps and throw it. I have a fire pit at the back of my property. I just throw it. But I just thought it'd be nice. Some of the larger chunks, maybe I just throw it in the garage. It'd be nice to heat it up.
The scraps all go into a big box. We take them up to the campground where we stay at. We have friends that have fire pits and stuff. They need kindling to start fires, and a lot of them will bring up conversations. A lot of them are like pieces of 16-inch square plywood that's got a whole bunch of things cut out of it. What was this? What was this? What was this? What you making?
Yeah. So when I was first dialing in the jack-o'-lanterns to make them centered, to make them up and down, like, you know, you're kind of placing it in the wood, creating your jigs. I had a bunch of them that I just didn't like the way they looked, you know, and the curve and things like that, right? So my son and his friend this past weekend, they went through the box of scraps. Oh man, they had a blast. You know, they're building all kinds of stuff, and it's crazy when you see these little kids when they see all these different shapes, the ideas that they come up with, what they're building,
Yeah.
and it's just scrap wood that, you know, we throw in the garbage. You know what I mean? But it was funny.
Yeah,
Sandals
ATV
Aviation-
marketing won the best response award this evening. I'll agree with that. You got a good laugh there.
Yeah, definitely some good laughs today. Actually, you know what? I didn't even realize we're actually 5 minutes over. Today was
Yeah.
Well, time's fun when you're having flies. Or something like
I
that.
just happened to look at my phone, or I didn't even realize it. And we actually got right through the last comments, so that was great. Thank you guys for joining live. If you're not already a member, I hate to keep saying, but make sure you join the Facebook group. I appreciate everyone joining. It's definitely good to see regulars coming back and some new faces as well. Be ready for me to drop a ton of new CNC videos. Be ready for next week to see the PWN CNC arrive. Roger, Steve, you guys want to say anything to close out?
I'll say good night to Rich, because his wife is calling him, not me. Yeah, just get out there and make things. Like do some cool stuff.
Okay, yeah, we'll see you next week.
See you next week, all. Thanks for joining.
Ciao, guys.